Today we're going to talk about Tim Berners-Lee and his legacy, and also we're going to analyze and look into the movie Her, a movie about augmented reality and technology really coming to life. But to start off, Tim Berners-Lee is one of the most famous people when it comes to digital art because he practically started it all. He was the one who invented the World Wide Web in 1989. He was an Oxford graduate, and then from there he developed the World Wide Web at the CRN, the European Particle Physics Lab. And in 1990, he developed the first web client and server. So he's basically responsible for our internet and how we basically get everything that we do today. He started it all. I'm sure it's advanced much more since then, but he started the project and it only elevated from there from his work. I think basing him off the movie Her and how he runs and operates, I feel that he would think that it was inevitable and it was about to happen. He started technology and thinking that he started the World Wide Web and realized that it, could go a lot of places and that it included a lot of different things. And I feel that he would think it's inevitable and think it's great that technology has advanced this far. I think at the same time, he might think it's a bit scary because at that time, it wasn't thought that this was ever going to happen or technology was going to be as big as it is today. So I'm sure it may have been a bit scary and may think that it wouldn't have happened, but I think it's always been that bit possibility, and I think that he would think it's a great development and that it's only going to increase from here. He was also given the ACM AM Turing Prize in 2017, so he's very knowledgeable on all these topics, and I think his perspective may have changed from when he first started and first created the World Wide Web to now in 2017, 2018, 19, when he has seen everything that's happened and moved on from there. So I think his opinions would change based on which time you're asking him about. Now, basically focusing on the movie Her, I think it's a phenomenal movie. I think it was established in 2014, and I think it's great in the way that it shows how technology could work from how technology could advance from what it is now. I think it's come such a long way since its creation, and I think it's only going to advance from there. I think some of the ways we have now, like currently in our world, can advance to get us to that point. And one of the ways I feel like that happens is we have a lot of artificial intelligence happening right now in the world we live in, and that comes from the smallest things like Siri being in our iPhone and her being able to listen to everything that we do or say and pick up on that and find different things for us that we need using the internet. And then it's also with things like Sophia the robot. So Sophia the robot is used on different TV shows like Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, and she's basically a robot that was programmed to have real facial expressions and be able to compose her own thoughts and hold a conversation with you. And I think that's a phenomenal invention. It allows you to have a full conversation with the robot, and she's programmed to think completely on her own without the assistance of somebody else. And I think that's a piece of technology that pushes us in the direction of the movie Her. It's one just step shorter than what they are really doing, because in the movie Her, there's no physical robot. It's just through the computer or through a little app. It's not anything physical. I think that this is a desirable future for some, but if I had to say, I think it would be a 50-50. I think for some people, they would think it's an invasion of privacy and that it's too advanced and that we don't need it. But I think that some people, just based on the science of it all, think it would make things more convenient and easier, and people would just think it's a phenomenal piece of technology and would just want all of it. Because if you think about it, our phones and Siri, that's such a desirable product right now, and that basically listens to everything we say. So I think to some people, I think it's a real 50-50, and I think that that'll only change with time, and I think until we have something present like that in front of us, that we're really not going to be able to tell if we do like it or we don't like it. And then that leads into the pros and cons, because pros and cons come with everything in life, and I think especially with things like this, how that would make such a big change in our lives. That would change the way we do everything. Especially if you base it on relationships. it would change the way we look for relationships, seek relationships, act in relationships, really everything. And I think some pros about it is that it's very innovative. It's new technology that's only going to get better, and it opens the doors to create more and advanced products like after that point. So I think from a standpoint, looking at it that way, that's a very positive thing about it, and it'll allow us to enhance other parts of our lives. But I think cons, it'll take away. I think it'll take away jobs. I think it'll take away people do if we keep enhancing the technology like we are. Um, it'll take people's jobs away, and that the technology will just be able to do everything, and the humans are really just pawns in the game. And then it's also the question, when will it stop? When will the technology stop? Like, when will it be too far, and when will it not be enough? And when will it go too far to where we can't function at all without technology? So I think it really just depends on if we were to have that future, we wouldn't be able to tell anything until we actually got there. And I think that's a bit of a scary thought. I think that having technology so advanced like that is a bit scary, and because no one knows how really it could work and how it would turn out. So it's all a waiting game, I feel personally. And I think our reality, our world is becoming much like that, how that future is in the movie Her, being portrayed like that. We have so much augmented reality around us to begin with that people are desire. Like, people want it and grasp for it, especially like in video games. Like, everyone's drawn to video games, and video games are much an augmented reality. And whether you're using the VR set or just playing through the game, it's very technologically advanced, and it's very augmented. And that could be through for pleasure or for business. And this relates back to the movie with the video game. Theodore constantly plays that game, and he talks to the little blue guy, and that's an augmented reality for him. That's him being in the game with them, and I think that is something that we do now, and that's a very desired topic and act and hobby that people are really looking to do and get with. And I think that's much like how the movie Her is, and I feel like that's only going to advance. And I think the movie Her was very smart to create in their time, because at the time they did, because it allows people to take a look at what we have now and visualize it and see only what it could become, and just educate people on how it could be, and see like how they feel, because inevitably it's going to happen. People are constantly going to create new things and constantly going to innovate the way we live our lives at this current moment, and in 5-10 years from now it could be totally different than what we're living now. And for right now, we have to be present and live in the moment, and then just see how the world is going to end up soon. So thank you for listening to my analysis of Her and Tim Berners-Lee, and I hope you guys learned something today. Thank you.